AGam in Kansas is brought to you in part by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
The first trial we did involving feeding higher concentrations of zinc, we were just trying to see if we can improve growth performance or carcass characteristics from feeding zinc in combination with zilpaterol hydrochloride, or known as Zilmax. The source that we used in this trial was zinc sulfate, because there's multiple different sources. And in that trial, we fed a relatively high concentration. We fed 300 ppm zinc, or parts per million zinc, and we observed cattle, their intake started to decrease towards the end of our trial. So we kind of started thinking, well, it was clear to us feeding 300 parts per million zinc was too much, and it was starting to have a negative effect on intake. So we kind of got to thinking, well, what do cattle need? We supplemented 0, 30, 60, or 90 parts per million zinc, and that's with a basal concentration in the diet that already contained about 30 parts per million. According to our research trial, we had a dietary concentration prior to supplementation of 30 parts per million, and we added 60 more. So that's a total of 90 parts per million. It appears to be where we optimize efficiency of the feedlot cattle here. Zinc's already a mineral that's being supplemented to the animals anyways, so if we can give them the right amount, that's something I think that's very beneficial. Not only as far as the animals are eating less and still gaining the same, but we also noticed when we analyzed the carcass traits, when we applied values to those numbers, so we pretty much calculated the total carcass value based on grid pricing over an average pricing over the past 5 years, that we saw a similar trend to where supplementing 60 parts per million zinc, so again total dietary concentration of 90 parts per million, is where we kind of appeared to maximize our total carcass value on these animals. It was about a $25 increase from going to no supplemental zinc to supplementing 60, and it decreased to $10 of an increase in carcass value, and we went to 90. But there was a pretty big variation between all the animals that we were looking at, so it was just a numerical difference. But for a mineral that you're supplementing anyways that costs less than a penny today to supplement, it's worth putting the right amount in the diets.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.